What's going on, you guys? It's Randy with Full Throttle Obsessions. Today we're going to be installing these GPM Racing aluminum trailing arms on my Traxxas UDR. Now I picked up some cheap aluminum trailing arms a few years back for it, but I ended up running into an issue that I didn't like. So we went ahead and picked up these GPMs. I'll just kind of show you guys these things. They were definitely more expensive than the cheap ones I had on it. But look at the quality of these things, man, and they feel really nice. And one of the main things why I decided to go with these ones instead of the cheap ones again is because these little joints here, the cheap ones had O-rings holding them in. So when you lose the screw or the screw comes out or anything happens, you not only lose the screw and the O-rings, but you lose this little joint here. And I'm not sure where you can pick one up, but I wasn't willing to spend the time looking for one. So I just picked up some good ones that ain't going to do that to me. Now if you're interested in these GPM trailing arms, or the cheap ones that I have on there currently, I'll go ahead and put those links in the description below. This should be a quick and easy install, so let's go ahead and get to it. Before we go ahead and get started here, I'll go ahead and show you guys what I was talking about. If you could see those little rubber O-rings, those are the only thing holding the joints in, so if the screw actually comes out like it did here, you lose a screw, the O-rings, which is really no big deal, but that little joint piece in there comes out as well. So then you gotta kind of track one of those down if you could find one. So I decided I didn't really want to go that route. The nice thing about these GPM Racing trailing arms is they got little Allen screws in there to hold the joints in. So if you happen to lose a screw, you don't have to worry about losing that little joint in there. And also what's nice, I didn't have to hunt down any screws because it comes with all the hardware to install these arms. You can see I'm going to have to get in there and do a good cleaning, man. All my shocks are dirty. The truck itself's actually pretty clean, but we got some dirt and grime on our shocks there. Another thing I'm going to be doing here, I'm not going to do it today, but I'm going to save it for another day. As you can see, this upper link here is bent, so I'm going to go ahead and take this off, get it straightened out before we take this truck back out. Alright, we're going to go ahead and start with the broken side first. So we're going to go ahead and remove the rear wheel. There we go. Now what we're going to do, we're going to cheat a little bit. What I did, I went ahead and undid these two screws from the body. Well, really only one, because this side of the body was broke. We're going to pull this down a little bit here and unscrew this little support piece so we can access the screw on the lower control arm. Let's go ahead and take this off. It just make it a lot easier to get it off, to slide it out. Like that is, well, a little bit more. There we go. Just kind of set that piece to the side. Now we'll go ahead and loosen the shocks. There we go, put those to the side. There we go, got those loosened. Now for the screw on the lower trailing arm. we go. Now, even though it came with extra hardware to mount the new trolling arms, we're going to save these because you never know when you're going to need an extra one. So we'll make sure we save those. Now this should just slide out. Whoops, there we go. Kind of a tight fit. Now, just to show you guys what I was talking about, how we lost that joint in there, this joint's only held in by these O-rings. So if you take the O-ring off, it comes out. So the screw comes out, you lose the O-rings, and you lose this little joint. But I have to say, these were actually not bad arms until that happened to me. They definitely got some use over the years, but they're going to be retired for now. I'm sure we'll find something to use those on in the future. Now we'll go ahead and open up the GPMs. Look at these things. These things are really nice. They got a lot of attention to detail in the arm itself, and they feel like they're really good quality. And my favorite part about these is these are actually screwed in. So we're not going to have to really worry about losing that joint anymore. So these arms should last us a long time. You see they got GPM, they got the UDR writing on there. These things are really nice. And as you can see, it came with all the hardware we're going to need for the trailing arm and also to mount the shocks. So we'll go ahead and put this to the side. Alright, we'll go ahead and mount the body mounted side first. Allen wrench. Alright, now we'll see where the location we're going to want in our shocks. On the old trolling arms, it was both the inners I had them on, but this pattern's a little narrower. So we're just going to have to kind of see where we like it and get it set from there. The battery ended up dying on my camera, so I had to switch the battery out. But now that we got the shocks all lined up, there's little nuts that we're going to put on the back of the screws to hold them in place, which is different from the one thing good about the cheap ones is they're threaded in the arm itself. So it makes it kind of nice because you don't have to deal with an extra nut, but it's really not that big of a deal. So we're going to put the nuts on here. Ooh. I'm not sure where that one went. That way you don't have to deal with that issue. Looks like I gotta go on a hunt for a little nut. That's one of the downsides about having little nuts on these shocks. Because now it's gonna be easier to lose. I'll go ahead and get my socket here. There we go. Right, you don't want them. You really don't want them too tight. Just snug. Now I got to go on the hunt for that one. And that's what I was dreading, is it sounded like it hit the floor somewhere. Well, I'll have to look for that one later. For now, we're just going to kind of push on. Get the bottom side hooked up. The axle side, I should say. Right. Slip it through the hole there. It helps if you have the right size Allen. There we go. I had the wrong size Allen there, so it wasn't working out too good. Alright, got that tightened up. Whoops. I have to say, I really like that arm. That trolling arm is nice. Go ahead and put this tire and rim back on. Then I got to go on the hunt for that little nut, which should be fun here. Let's see. I'm just hoping it didn't go behind the table, between the table and the wall, but it probably did. Tighten this up. All right, we'll go ahead and turn this around. But before, realizing we forgot to install this little brace piece, a little step. We'll just leave that off for now. Get this one removed, and then I got to go on the hunt for that little screw here, or that little nut. Alright, I was unsuccessful in finding that little nut. Man, when those things start rolling, they keep rolling. I kind of have a feeling it went behind my battery box here, which I can't really access behind it right now, so we'll just have to finish this up. And another day I'll have to look for that nut or go ahead and get a new one. So on this I will go ahead and pull the wheel. Take the wheel off here. There we go. Alright, we'll do the same on this side. We'll go ahead and take out these body screws here. Just to make it easier to access that screw, we're going to go ahead and take off that little rail mount here. Alright, pull this down. The second screw here. we go. Put that to the side. Now we'll go ahead and loosen the shock mounts. Whoops. Alright, now we'll go ahead and take it off at the bottom first, since the bottom's a little bit tricky to get to. Of course, the easiest one, this bottom one, would be to remove this piece from the wheel or for the hub, but it's actually not that hard to go ahead and access it through the hole here. So that's one less piece we have to take off, one less part we have to worry about losing. The way my luck's going today, so we'll just go ahead and do it this way. Right. There we go. That whole joint came out on the top one. There we go. Put that in there. To look for that O-ring. Fell somewhere in there. Now for the new arms, maybe I'll try to put well, no. I'll just do the same way I did the last one. The chassis mounted side first. Since I'm only going to be hooking one shock up on this side. You don't have to mount this chassis side first. You mount it on the axle. It's just how I feel like doing it. Alright, so I'll do the spring shock. Second hole back on that last one, so there we go. This screw here, get it lined up. Nice. Alright. Now, man, I really wish they gave an extra nut since these things are so small. I just gotta be extra careful on this one so I don't lose it. Right. Now we'll just leave this one loose for right now. We'll mount the axle side down. Nice and snug, there we go. Now for this side, we'll go ahead and mount the step back on. I'll have to go back and do it to the other side, but I'll do it later on. Alright. Now the two body panel screws on this side. Now for the last step, the tire and wheel. Wow, those GPM trailing arms really look amazing on the bottom of the UDR. You kind of see, I know it's upside down, but GPM, UDR, wow, those things look nice. Now I got a couple more things to do. I got to take this upper control arm off and bend it straight. I'm going to put it in the vise and bend it back. And then of course I got to hunt down a nut for that. That one's somewhere around here. Alright guys, that was just my quick little install of the GPM Racing aluminum lower control arms for the Traxxas UDR. Man, look at that truck. This truck looks amazing. I can't wait to get it back out. And I hope you guys liked the video. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.